My father cried once in front of me. Once, in my entire life. I was maybe 9 years old. Something had gone wrong financially, something I did not fully understand at that age. And he was sitting at the dining table late at night, head bowed. Both hands flat on the table, like he was trying to hold something down. I came in for water and stood in the doorway watching him, and I did not know what I was seeing because I had never seen it before. I was seeing my father fall apart. He heard me. He looked up. He wiped his face with the back of his hand and something closed, like a door shutting very quietly. "Go back to bed," he said, and I went. And by morning, he was himself again. Quiet, steady. Performing okay for all of us. He never mentioned that night. Neither did I, and I have spent years thinking about everything that was living inside that silence. What it cost him to carry it alone. What it cost me to witness it and have no language for it. What it cost our relationship, that there was never a space where the real thing could be said. This video is about that weight. What it is made of, what it costs, and what becomes possible when a man finally puts some of it down. If you grew up with a father like that, this is for you. If you are a father like that, this is especially for you. Stay with me. Welcome back to Ife Random Reflections. I am Ife, and this is week 2 of our June Men's Month series. Last week, we opened with the truth that men are allowed to feel too. This week, we move from permission into inheritance. We talk about the weight fathers carry, where it comes from, what it passes down, and what breaking the pattern actually looks like. This is not about blaming fathers. It is about understanding something that has been quietly costing us all for a very long time. If you are new here, subscribe and turn on the bell. This June series builds week by week, and you will not want to miss what is coming. Now let us go. Let me tell you about a man named Tund. Tund is 44 years old. He has a wife and 3 children. His business has been struggling for over a year, and nobody in his house knows how bad it really is. Every morning, he leaves home with his jaw set and his shoulders back, performing the version of himself his family needs to see. Capable, steady, fine. At night, after everyone is asleep, he sits in the dark and does the arithmetic. The money that is not there, the loans that are due, the school fees he does not know how to cover. He does this alone, in silence, every single night, and then goes to bed. And in the morning, performs capable again. He is not doing this because he does not trust his wife. He is doing it because somewhere in his formation as a man he absorbed a story. The story says, you protect them from it. You figure it out alone. You do not let them see the fracture because the fracture means you have failed. That story was handed to him. He did not write it. His father did the same thing, and his father before that. A whole lineage of men sitting alone in the dark, because nobody in that line was ever told they were allowed to say, I am scared. I need help. I cannot hold all of this by myself. A man's worth is measured by what he provides. His job is to protect everyone from the hard things, including his own. He cannot be uncertain, cannot grieve visibly, cannot need. Need is weakness. And weakness means the whole structure falls. That is the story. It sounds extreme out loud, but look at how many men are living it right now without realizing it is even a story. They just think it is the truth about what it means to be a man. I want to name the weight specifically, because we romanticize it. We say fathers carry so much and leave it vague, as if the poetry is the point. The specificity is the point. There is the financial weight. The pressure of provision, the shame of a bad year, the private terror of not meeting the needs of people who depend on you. For many men, this is not just stress. It is existential. Because they were told their value is tied to this. A man who cannot provide is not just struggling financially. He feels like he is failing at being a man. That conflation is brutal and almost never examined. There is the performance weight. The daily exhausting act of appearing okay, even on the days when there is nothing stable left inside him. Every morning is an audition for a role he never chose. And it never ends because the moment the mask slips, he believes everything collapses. There is the relational weight. The longing to be truly known by his children, not just respected or provided for, but known. And not knowing how to get there because the distance has been building so long and the language was never given to him. His daughter is 16. His son is 13. He loves them with everything he has, and they feel like strangers who live in his house. That grief, the grief of loving someone deeply and not knowing how to reach them, is one of the most acute griefs a person can carry. And fathers carry it largely alone because nobody thinks to ask a father if he is grieving the relationship with his own children. And underneath all of it, the cruelest layer. The quiet awareness that something is wrong, that he is not okay, that the weight is too much, and having no language for it, no safe person to say it to, and therefore no way out. A man in that position is not simply struggling. He is trapped inside his own silence with no map and no door. Growing up with 3 brothers, I watched across years what happened to the people around men who carried all of this quietly. It costs the children, not a perfect father but a present one. When a father's wall is always up, children learn without being taught directly that men are not safe for emotional things. That love from a man looks like duty and provision, but not softness. They learn not to ask, and that lesson travels into every relationship they will ever have. It costs the partner, because emotional labor does not disappear when one person stops doing it. It redistributes, and slowly, over years, the person carrying the weight for 2 starts to feel alone inside the marriage, not unloved, but unseen. Like they are pouring into someone who cannot pour back, and it costs him most of all. A man who has never been soft with the people who love him is living inside his own life as a stranger. He can eat at the same table as his family every night and be completely alone. That chronic isolation is one of the strongest predictors of depression in men, of physical illness, of early death. The silence is not safety. The silence is a slow emergency, but I have also seen what happens when it breaks. There's a man I know, a father of 3, who grew up watching his own father be a god in the house. Untouchable, never wrong, never soft. He loved that man, and he was terrified of him. And when he became a father himself, he became the same kind of god because it was the only template he had. His eldest son stopped talking to him for 2 years, not with a confrontation. He just slowly withdrew until the distance became the normal. One evening, this man was driving alone, and a song came on the radio that his son used to sing as a little boy. Something in him cracked open. He pulled into a car park and wept for 40 minutes, not performing, not managing it, just wept the way he had not let himself since he was a child. The next day he called his son. He did not have a speech. He just said, "I know I was not easy to reach. I know you needed something from me I did not know how to give. I am not asking you to forgive me right now. I just need you to know that I see it, and I am sorry." His son was quiet for a long time, and then he said, "That is all I ever wanted to hear." That call did not fix everything immediately, but something fundamental shifted, because the wall came down. And once the wall comes down, even a little, the warmth can finally get through. Your children do not need you to be a god. They need you to be a person. Flawed, trying, sometimes scared, genuinely present. That version of you is the one they can actually hold on to. And to the sons and daughters watching this, who grew up feeling the love but not quite being able to reach it, your father's absence was not a verdict on your worth. It was the consequence of a story handed to him before you were born. He may have failed you in real ways that deserve to be grieved. And it is also true that he was failed first. Both things can be true at the same time. Understanding that does not excuse the harm, but it can free you from carrying it as a wound about who you are. Tell me in the comments. What is one thing you wish your father had let you see? One moment of his real self you were never given access to. And if you are a father watching this, tell me one thing you have been carrying alone that nobody in your life knows about. Even a sentence, even one word. Because sometimes naming a thing out loud for the first time, even to strangers, is the beginning of it losing its hold on you. Like this video. It carries this conversation further into the feeds of people sitting alone with something they have never said. And share it with the fathers and the children of fathers who need to know they are not alone in this. Next week, we go all the way back to the beginning. We are healing the boy behind the man. The child who learned to hide himself before he even understood what he was hiding and what it takes to go back and find him. Come back for it. I am Ifuluwani. The weight was never meant to be carried alone. You are allowed to put some of it down now. Take care of yourself.